And I know people are not even thinking of Hillary Clinton. Like they're thinking, no way can she even be the suggested vice president candidate. But guys, she's going to be involved somehow in this election. Will Hillary Clinton become the next president of the United States? That's right. I said Hillary Clinton. Hi, I'm Thor Sandalwood, and we are going to be taking a look at Hillary Clinton's astrology to see if maybe she can become president or vice president. Okay, so initially I was not thinking of Hillary Clinton as a possible candidate or vice president because she ran for president back in 2016. And then I really started thinking about things, and I saw an article on The Hill. I'll put the article on screen for you guys. And the title of the article is "A Hillary Clinton Barack Obama Ticket to Replace Joe Biden. Is it even possible?" So anyways, it's an opinion article, but it got me thinking. I'm like, wait a second, why are they putting this in something like The Hill, even if it's an opinion? Sometimes with the media, what they're doing is they're kind of sending these trial balloons of different ideas to us to see what the reaction will be, or to get us ready for it with their pre-programming that there's going to be changes to what happens. As we know, Joe Biden has been having problems. And in this article, it lists 3 specific problems that Joe Biden is having right now. Number 1, there's allegations of sexual misconduct. Whether true or not true, there's the allegations that are out there that could be haunting somebody like him. So it's not like they really want to jump into the campaign with those allegations. Number 2, and it's in this article, is they're also worried that there might be deeper probes into Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, into his business activities with the whole Ukraine thing and whatever they're going to investigate. There's kind of that political liability there, that maybe there's some things that they don't want the media to be prying into, or especially Donald Trump to be prying into. Number 3, and the most important in my opinion, is that definitely we're seeing Biden have cognitive problems. He's, it probably has to do with age, obviously, but he's having issues. And honestly, for him to go up against Donald Trump is going to be very, very difficult with his cognitive issues that he's having. But so anyways, the article addresses those 3 problems. And it says, is it possible that even though Joe Biden's looking like he's the nomination, could something happen where he gets either switched out with somebody else? And so the article explains that yes, they could do that. Either if Joe Biden drops out before the convention or during the convention delegates can actually nominate someone else. So can they replace Joe Biden if he drops out? And the answer is unequivocally yes, they can. So if he drops out before the convention will happen, and the delegates at the conventions will simply vote for who they want the Democratic nominee to be. The second option is, if Joe Biden gets nominated at the convention, he can actually still drop out between the convention and the election. And this is how it would happen. He would drop out, but get this, it would be the Democratic National Committee which would appoint the new nominee. So you guys need to think about that. The delegates wouldn't even be involved. The Democratic Party could appoint a nominee. So this really does seem to me to be a very viable option of what's probably going to be happening, especially when you guys, if you watch my previous video of the Trump at war with China possibility. But if you look at the United States chart, you know that we're in this 8th house type period with Rahu transiting the 8th house of the United States chart. So this is kind of like sudden surprises, sudden things. So could we see Biden drop out and all of a sudden somebody like Hillary Clinton coming in? Now, the article says Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama ticket. And I just don't I don't honestly think that Barack Obama is going to be involved in the ticket myself. I don't see it happening. What I do, this is my opinion, and I will back this up with the chart, is I think we could see something like an Andrew Cuomo Hillary Clinton combo. And there's been articles out recently of Andrew Cuomo is immensely popular right now with this whole pandemic thing. He's polling good even with Republicans. That's how popular Andrew Cuomo is. So, guys, this all fits a narrative, okay? The narrative of the country's in this disaster, and it looks like the Democratic candidate is not going to win. He's doing really bad, and even though he's getting handed this on a silver platter, that he can still screw this up. And then in comes the black horse candidate, so this is an interesting story. It's kind of the stuff that could be written in a Hollywood script. So I can't find Andrew Cuomo's birth time at all on the internet. If any of you guys know that, post down below. So I'm going to take a look at Hillary Clinton's chart. Okay, so I saw several different birth times in the software program I use, Kala. So I just used the birth time of 8:02 for Hillary Clinton. It seems to line up, in my opinion, to her life. So, I mean, we see that Hillary Clinton, she's a Libra, first house. And look, her first house is totally the house of a politician. We got Mercury. We got Venus. We got Sun. First house, the body, your identity. And you got especially the Sun, Venus there. Venus makes you charming, attractive. It attracts that attractive energy. The Sun is that magnetism, that glowing energy, that projecting energy, that self-willed type energy. Mercury, good communicator. So we're seeing just right off the bat, boom, politician. So this is what I want to look at. First, I want to look at why did Hillary Clinton lose the last election in 2016, in my opinion? And then can she win this election, or can she be involved in this election coming up in 2020? Because that's the question. So first I'm going to go back to 2016, and we're going to be looking at her dashas. Okay, that's what I'm mainly just going to be interpreting using the dashas right now. And also we're going to be taking a look at the dashas that she's in during the 2020 election. Okay, so in November 2016, or November of 2016, with the last election with her versus Trump, we see that she was in Sun Mahadasha, and Sun Mahadasha, I believe, is the shortest Mahadasha. It's 6 years long. So that's a pretty quick, intense period. Sun Mahadasha is a great period for politics, especially look at her sun is in the first house. Glowing, authority. So this is definitely a time that, I mean, right off the bat, we know why she was the Democratic candidate. However, she's in that Rahu sub-period. And Rahu, if you look, you can take a look at the chart. Rahu's in the 8th house of Taurus. So Rahu being in the 8th house, and we know the 8th house is considered an evil house. It's the Dashtana house. We do consider that 8th house energy was exaggerated with Rahu being there. And so I could see the break happening there. And the sun tends to be a separative type of planet. So we had that 8th house break. That really was a sudden upset. Like, oh my gosh, Hillary Clinton lost. We all thought she was going to win. And then boom, Trump takes it that night. Okay, so we can see, oh wow, that's probably what happened, this old Rahu in the 8th house period. And this is why I believe this chart lines up pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and flash forward over to, okay, let's take a look at the summer of 2020 when the convention can happen, and also the election time. And we see she's in Sun Venus. That's very interesting, isn't it? I believe this Sun Venus period is going to be more powerful for Hillary than that Sun Rahu period was. See, a Rahu period, and we know that Biden's in a Rahu period. Biden's entering a Rahu period right now. But check this out. The sun is in the first house, and her Venus is in the first house. So there's this strong first house focus right now on Hillary. And it seems kind of odd that she would have this very strong first house energy when there isn't really anything suggesting she's going to be running for anything. But we see this first house energy is very strong. So I could definitely see, just with this Venus, I mean, Sun, and even though the Sun and Venus are not friends, and we got to remember, okay, first of all, Sun is kind of like, Sun is the narrative of the self. So she's already in Mahadasha of the Sun. It's all about her, herself, being in the spotlight. Then she's in Venus. Her ruling planet is Venus, and her ruling planet Venus is in its own house of Libra. Very strong. And what is Venus? Venus makes the deals. It makes the contracts. What deals are going on right now? That's what we want to, what deals are going on in the background? Secret deals, and I will tell you why. Venus, if you look, it rules the 8th house of Taurus, again with Rahu. But unlike the previous election in 2016, this is more of a sub consideration. This is a consideration. Venus rules the 8th house, but it also rules the 1st house. So it isn't all that focus on the 8th house with Rahu. But Rahu in the 8th house could indicate secret deals going on in the background. Isn't that interesting? In the last chart we've read with Elizabeth Warren, she's also in this moon 8th house with Rahu period. Isn't that interesting just to notice these Democratic players are kind of in this conspiratorial kind of period of making deals? So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, guys, that we do not know. Sun in the 1st house, Venus in the 1st house. Yes, Hillary could become the vice presidential nominee. She definitely could show up into this fray. She could even be thrown in there as presidential nominee if there's a brokered convention. I'm seeing it just for sure she could. And now let's look. Okay, so she's in her last bhukti of the Sun Mahadasha. Okay, if we look at her further down, in February of 2021, she's entering a whole new Mahadasha, Moon Mahadasha. And that's close enough to January. January is when the president, January of 2021 is when the new president gets sworn in. So it's interesting to note that Hillary's in a transition period right now. Whenever there's two Mahadashas next to each other, there's usually some big transformative events that happen that switch you into the new Mahadasha. Okay, so she's going from Sun Mahadasha to Moon Mahadasha. Okay, so that February 19th, 2021 date that shows the start of her Moon Mahadasha, it's close enough to that time of being sworn in as a president or being a vice president to where I look at it and go, yes, this could be a giant shift. Remember, when Trump became president, he switched into his Jupiter Mahadasha, a whole new Mahadasha, right when he became elected president. So we've seen these Mahadasha transitions happen when presidents either become elected president or close to when they're sworn in as the new president. Because what is it? It's a whole new karma. Imagine becoming president. That's a whole new karma that's manifesting in your life. So look at this Moon Mahadasha, and this is where I'm going, okay, either she's definitely going to be super important in whatever's happening. So like I said, could she be maybe Andrew Cuomo running for president and she's the vice president? Or could she be the president? I tend to think they would not run her as president again because she lost in the last election. I would tend to think that they would make her a vice president if that's the case. Either this or she's going to be involved in something very big like the Democratic Committee or something. Like she's pulling the strings of the whole party. Because let's look at her moon, guys. Her moon. It's in the 5th house of Aquarius. 5th house is all about being in the spotlight. You're the star. It's almost kind of like it has almost the same significations as the sun. So 5th house is all about royalty, being in the spotlight, shining. Moon also means homeland. shining in the homeland, being kind of a mother. Maybe she has an important role where she's kind of like the matriarch of the Democratic Party. I don't know. Then look at what does the moon rule? 10th house of Cancer. Saturn, Mars are there. I mean, this stuff is, there's some powerful planets being activated. So in her moon Mahadasha, we got moon in the 5th house activating the 10th house. Both houses are like being in the spotlight, head of government. So this is huge, guys. We're going to see, I believe we're going to see some big shifts. I'm starting to think that Biden's not going to last till either he's going to drop out or something's going to happen. He's not going to last to the build up to this election with Trump. The reason why, I just see that there's too many storm clouds around Biden. Remember, Biden had a great chart for winning the Democratic nomination because he had that Rahu. I believe Rahu was in his 10th house. But there wasn't, Rahu can be like the trickster in that Rahu can elevate you to something really quick and then all of a sudden you have a downfall. So that could be what we might see. And Rahu's kind of like an illusionist. Rahu can put an illusion where there's the illusion that Biden's like really going to make it, but then he doesn't have really any strong supporting planets in that 10th house. I think Rahu is alone in the 10th house in his chart. Usually you want to see some strong planets either aspecting that house or in that house to make it a very strong house, or the ruler of that house is very strong. So Hillary Clinton, if anything, she's very much involved in this election. So yes, she could become vice president. She has actually a much stronger chart than Elizabeth Warren as far as this goes. And I know people are not even thinking of Hillary Clinton. Like they're thinking, no way can she even be the suggested vice president candidate. But guys, she's going to be involved somehow in this election. Let me know, guys, what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you guys agree, or do you think that it will be someone maybe like Amy Klobuchar or somebody else? I'm also going to take a look at Amy Klobuchar's chart as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel for more readings and rants and everything else, political analyses that come with my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.